guys, Cindy A. Lewis here. I'm bringing you a craft DIY today with any box that you may have. If you have a shoe box, or this is a copy paper box with a lid, and we're going to create a storage box or a recipe box or anything that you could use the storage for. I'm going to create a storage box with a divider in the center, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We're starting our DIYs for Christmas, so I've chosen three colors, or two colors from the Dollar Tree that are just duct tape, that are metallic. I've got green and gold, and I'm going to use some ribbon, and we will create a cover for this box. So I'm going to make a center divider for this box. So I'm going to measure the end of my box onto my box lid so I can cut that out. Since the box lid is the same size, that will be easy to do. So I'm going to measure that. And you can see that it is just about 5.5 inches. Okay, now that I have the divider in my box, I'm going to glue this in with hot glue, and then I'm going to cover the box and the divider with my duct tape. Now we want to kind of let the glue set up. I know it was hard to see as I glued it in, but basically I rubbed the glue gun to try to not have a bunch of hard edges on all the seams. And then when we cover it with the duct tape, that will reinforce that glue. So the glue is holding it in place. Now you could put this in the middle, you could put it to the side, just depending on what you wanted this size to be. So since I'm making this for the holidays, for Christmas, and I'm choosing this beautiful green metallic duct tape, then I'm going to use it for, I think it'll be for recipes, and I think I may put recipes on one side for cookies, and then put some cookies here for gift on the other side. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to wrap the box on the outside with the green duct tape. Okay, so I've covered the box. I'm going to trim the bottom with the gold, and I'm going to trim the top with the gold. But right now I need to cover the inside. So one duct tape from the Dollar Tree covered the outside of this box, and then I reinforced the center edge here one more time. So as you can see, it's really pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to cover the inside. So I found the easiest way to cover the inside of the box is to cut off pieces that will fit the width or length of the piece. So I'm going to cover the center with green. I know it's hard to see, but I'm going to cover this center with the green, and I believe I may use the gold around the edge. I'm not sure. I'm not going to cover the bottom because I like that look. So let me finish this for you. So as you can see, I covered the inside divider panel, and then I also decided to cover the sides beside the panel, the green. Now I'm going to cover the ends on the inside with the gold, and then I'm going to cover all the tops with the gold. Now as you can see, I finished doing each side of the box. Now I'm going to finish these edges, and I'll let you watch that. The reason that I didn't video the inside is because it's just really hard to see with the camera and the lighting, getting a lot of shadows and everything. So I do want to make sure that these edges look good, and if they don't, we're going to cover those. So let's watch this. Okay, what you saw me doing was trimming a little edge that didn't come out quite right. So what we're going to do now is to make it fold down. We've got about an inch to half an inch or so on the sides that we're going to fold down. But we want to cut that with the scissors to make sure that everything lies as flat as possible. Okay, now I'm not planning to finish the bottom, but I am planning to finish this edge. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did here at the top. It's about a half an inch here around the bottom so that this edge will be covered. Okay? Okay, so I wanted to tell you that the duct tape that I used is this from the Dollar Tree. It's 15 feet. I used about one. There's a little left on the gold for the trim, what I did on the inside, and I used one, almost two of the green because I used more of the green. But I do have a pretty large size box. Copy paper came in it. So I wanted to tell you that you can use duct tape, you can use fabric, you can use tissue paper, you can use just about anything to cover your box. I'm just trying to give you an idea of that you can take something that might turn into trash and turn it into something beautiful. So it's kind of like taking trash and making treasure. So it's kind of something sensational that you're creating. So anyway, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some stickers from the Dollar Tree. Now these are by Jot. These are black stickers. And I'm going to spell out recipes on my box in little blocks. So what I'm going to do now is I see that my letters are about a ½ inch tall. And so I'm going to take the rest of my box lid around the corners, and I'm going to cut out enough squares out of the cardboard and cover them with the duct tape to make little blocks for my letters to sit on. I'm going to do that now. Okay, now I have my blocks cut out. They are 1 inch by 1½ inches for this size letter that I'm going to spell recipes on my box. So I'm going to cover these real quickly. I'll show you one of them. I am going to cover them in gold since the box is in mainly green. So I'm going to just put the block on here, about centered, well, sort of centered. That one just kind of fell on there. And then just cover it like that and cut away the excess. And I will tell you that this duct tape is very sticky. It is extremely high tack, and so you want to make sure that you get your duct tape where you want it. Now see, I don't want that much lip on this one, so I'm just going to cut the edges. Now this one may not turn out exactly how I want it, which it did not. So since it got stuck on there, that's not exactly what I want. That's not what I want the look to be. So I'm going to try again. And that's what crafting is. You know, if it doesn't work out the first time, you know what, that's okay. Keep trying. I mean, I have plenty of cardboard to try here. So I am going to go ahead and pre-cut this. So I measure, I need it to be this long. So that's highly technical, right? See what I mean about the tack on this? This is really tacky duct tape. Alright, it's even sticking to itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down here, and I'm going to, what I'd like is to turn this edge over like this. And I'm going to be very precise in cutting the corners. See, I'm glad I showed you my mistake. So I'm going to trim this down like this. And it is pretty tiny to do this way. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut here where this other corner is with my scissors. Alright, now I'm going to turn this edge down like this. I don't know if you can see very well, but I'm trying to get these corners as precise as possible. Then I'm going to pull this cover over like that. Then I don't want this extra here, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay. Now I have a little bit here that I need to turn, and you can see that this is going to make it difficult for me. So I am going to trim this corner and trim this corner, and now I can turn my edge down, and I can turn this edge down, and then I can trim these off, or I can put them over the top like that, and you can't really see them. So lesson learned, don't get too eager. So there you go. So I'm going to cover these real quickly, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I changed my mind. I looked at the size of my blocks, and I didn't like the little black lettering that I had. So I have these American craft stickers. Like I said, use what you have. That is the point of doing this project. So I decided that even though I've got gold and green, I believe that the silver letters will stand out on my box. So I'm going to put those on here for recipes. Okay, so let me turn this around for you. Now you may pick different things, and this may not be your style, but this is what we're going to do with our box tonight. And so I've got my box, and I'm going to hot glue recipes on here. Okay, so what you want to do is you'll want to place your lettering on your box to make sure it fits good. And so now I'm happy with that, so I'm going to put my hot glue on the back, and I want it to kind of stand up actually, but I don't want it to be too much. And I want my letters to be kind of catty-cornered and not perfect. And then I'm going to add some ribbon to my box as well to give it a little bling and holiday look. And this would be our first holiday Christmas craft of the season. Now you may go to a cookie bake or something, a cookie exchange. A lot of people do that, little groups do that in this season. Now you want to make sure you don't put too much glue where it is bleeding out over your letters onto your box. So, and that's just a little tip there. You probably know that already. And I'm doing this upside down just so you know. So, anyways. All right. So now we have our letters, and they're sticking on really fast. But I think they need a little something more. So, we'll see. But now we have our letters all stuck on for our recipes. Okay. So, I'm going to put a little bow here. And in the center of it, I'm going to put this poinsettia and then put that here on my box. So I bought these 4 mini ornaments at Walmart. So they were $1.98 for 4. They're real pretty and glittery and shiny, which my box is. So one of these would be about 50 cents. So, I mean, I don't think that's too much for a beautiful box. Then I had this ribbon left over. It's just some little scrap ribbon. It's about 17 inches long and it's about 2 inches wide. You can see it's really pretty and it'll go with my box really well. So the way I'm going to make my bow is very, very simple. I fold my ribbon in half, and you can see I have the tailored edges here, like the arrow edges. Okay, I fold my ribbon in half, and then this is just the simplest, so I just scrunch it together in the center, like that. Then I fold my bow first loop in, and make sure it's the size that I want with the tail that I want, so it might be a little too big. I am doing this upside down. And then I scrunch the other side to make a loop. Now I've got my other tail. So now I have my ribbon bow. Very simple, and I'm going to put my little poinsettia ornament in the center. So I'm going to take my little piece of floral wire that you can buy at the Dollar Tree. Just some little floral wire, something like that. You can buy it at Walmart. You can buy it anywhere. And I am going to wrap my wire around the center. I'm going to have to do this here because I need it to stay together when I put the bow there. And if I miss any part of it, that's okay, because I can come back around it again and make sure that I get everything in my wire that I need to get in my wire. And I just twist it. Alright, now I've got this loop and this loop. I need to bring my tail around. And this is wired ribbon, so it's really pretty simple to use. Just have to make sure that you grab what you can. Just whatever you have around your house. Point of reusing things that we have. Saving money and making something beautiful. Now, I'm going to take, now this ornament has a clip on the back of it, which is really nice, because if my friend that I give this to wants to reuse it, so I'm just clipping it on, wants to reuse it, then she can take it off, because I'm not going to glue that on. I will, however, put a little dab of glue onto the box. Isn't that beautiful? But I didn't want the tails too long to where they would cover the letters. And I may see that maybe, no. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here. It will easily come off if she wants to take it off. So, there we go. And if you watched my DIY from the Dollar Tree, one of the videos, that I did a haul with a lot of items for a friend of mine that's a teacher and made her a gift basket. And I just wanted you to know that she really loved it. So here we are. We've got our bow on. I'm going to trim these little wires that are hanging out so that no one gets hurt with that. And now my box is finished. I just need to fill it one side with cookies and one side with recipes. So I hope that you enjoyed this DIY. It's really very simple, but yet so many different ways that you can do this project for all kinds of things. So I want to thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. You give it a thumbs up, subscribe so that you get an alert on my next video. You can comment down below, and thank you. Have a good evening.